Hi, I'm Kamna and you're watching AppianLIVE Expert Cut, where we bring the experts back into the office to discuss the events they've been to, the trends they're seeing, and everything else executives need to know. Today, I'm joined by
Jason Adolf, Industry Lead for Federal.
Francois Dunoyer, Vice President for U.S. Public Sector.
So, Appian Federal Forum was last week. Can you talk to me about the event?
We did have Fed Forum and it was a tremendous success. We're incredibly excited by what we were able to see. What we set out to do when we first put this event on the schedule was to make it a customer-focused event. To do that, most of the speakers were actually folks from not from Appian. Some were existing customers who've deployed Appian, and others were thought leaders from around agencies in Washington, D.C. Coming to this event and listening to other success stories from existing customers, what they've been able to do with the Appian platform, but also some visionaries around, like I said, folks that haven't really deployed Appian, but their vision for modernizing IT within the federal government. So really landed that objective to make it an event sort of by customers for customers.
It was nice to allow our customers to ask questions of our customer speakers without it being moderated by us. So, you know, there was no, we weren't, Francois and I weren't sitting there filtering questions from our customers to other customers. We were letting them ask very direct, you know, how did you do this? How did you solve this problem? Questions to people who'd solved those problems. And again, you know, we can be our best advocates as Appian, but again, letting our customers talk to other people who've been there, you know, I think that speaks way more volumes than anything that we could tell them. So
what were some of the key topics that dominated the discussion at the event?
So I think we had a number of themes that we'll say that were throughout the event, and I think one of the big ones that I noticed was our customers, our partners, and folks that were there are talking more about delivering outcomes. So, you know, I was talking to somebody this morning about it, which is, in the past, our government customers would be giving us pages and pages of requirements for which to build something very, very specific. And in the spot where we're at today, where our customers are doing agile projects, they're looking more and more to what we would consider a statement of objectives. Here's what we're trying to achieve, and then there's much more collaboration between our customers, the vendors, our partners, as to how to achieve those specific objectives without being constrained by an artificial set of must-haves that are very granular. And so it was really interesting to see all of the customer speakers that we had were talking about delivering projects in a more agile fashion. All of them were talking about challenges that they faced when trying to modernize you know, systems that they have in their landscape, and not just from a technical perspective, but from a change management perspective. So a lot of the problems that we see with software like Appian and things in the marketplace is, you know, we've tried to change the paradigm from being what used to take a certain amount of time, and now we're saying it's going to take 1/10 of the time or 1/20th of the time. And so just because we can build it that fast, sometimes it's not that easy for the government to digest it, or for that change to be able to take inside of that organization. And so I think a lot of our speakers were grappling with the fact that, yes, they're able to build things faster than, in many cases, their agencies can digest the change.
And to add to what Jason said, when the audience started hearing about the possibilities, some of them are less far along in their adoption of our platform. They got crazy excited at the possibilities, and that they were actually being able to interact with folks who had, you know, who were 12 months ahead of them and had achieved very impressive results. And I could just see these set of customers who were just getting started just get totally excited at the possibilities and interact directly with customers that you heard from.
The other thing that we spent a good deal of time talking about was disruptive technology. So, you know, 2017 was kind of the year where AI, RPA, machine learning, Internet of Things became things that our government customers were starting to talk about. And I would predict from, you know, the conversations that we had with our partners and our customers at the forum, 2018 is going to be where we operationalize a lot of those disruptors. And I think it's really exciting for us And you can see kind of from the way that Appian is designed to be able to integrate those things, I think it's going to be a really interesting set of use cases going into 2018.
Well, thank you for your time today. This has been AppianLIVE Expert Cut. Thanks for watching.